Stop it. Get some help. Are you hitting on women in the workplace, you sick, misogynistic, cisgendered, straight male pig, you? Now, realistically speaking, I hate it, man. I hate it. I hate it. I hate when I get a student, when I get a client, when I get a cool guy, and he just goes, hey, man, this is girl I've been talking to. I'm like, yeah, cool. What you talk to? You went up to the gym, or where'd you meet her, man? Oh, it's this girl at work. Ah, you. Don't do it, man. Don't do it, man. I don't want to just nag at you. But there's a couple reasons why women in the workplace, this can be a complex situation besides the obvious, other than the whole don't shit where you eat. But don't shit where you eat. I mean, naturally, when you go to work, when you go to school, you there to learn, you there to work. I know that's not what you want to hear, and I'm never going to be able to stop things. And there's people out there who, you know what, they meet a partner during their job, meet a partner during their school. And you know what, maybe they go on to get married and have kids. I can relate. My sister met her husband at work, and they actually work together, and they have a nice little house. So who am I to say anything? But let me just give some warnings, because working with a woman is kind of like living with her. You ever think of that? I'm just saying, it's like every day you got to go into this place, and you got to see this girl. And one of the problems, too, is you get guys where maybe a situation goes good. Maybe they go to a workplace party and they actually start to chop it up with the girl, and the situation verbally starting to go good. They're starting to connect. But next thing you know, when you come back Monday morning, the energy's not the same. Maybe she's a little colder. And that's one of the issues with women in the workplace is if you are gonna talk to a girl in the workplace, you gotta kind of have a slow burn mentality where you just kind of drop little things, little conversations here and there. You don't put it all on the table, because naturally you're gonna see her every week. You really want to take things outside of the workplace. When you go for that coffee, then you can loosen up and actually start talking about, you know, you can actually start getting deeper with things. But for me, one of the reasons why it bugs me out too is because, believe it or not, you know, a lot of women, if things don't work out, they might just sabotage you. They might just sell you out at the workplace, or they might just gossip. And you don't really want to be the workplace couple or the workplace, you know, water cooler conversation. Because I remember, I'm gonna be honest, they just started making people sign things like a year or two ago about sexual harassment at the workplace. So you as a man, your hands are a little bit tied. So it's always something to consider. Man, it's like you can't avoid them. In fact, you know what's good? You know what's good about women in the workplace? When you have a life outside of it, when you actually meet women outside of the workplace, and then you kind of come into the workplace with that energy, like you have a life outside of the workplace, that's when you'll actually find probably even more success, because you won't be so predicated. Look, here's the main reason why I don't like it, other than the obvious, you know, don't share where you eat. Things can come back with negative ramifications for your career, your financial life, and etc., etc. But also because it creates a habit where every day you wake up and you're looking forward to work for a girl. Or every day you wake up and you're like, man, I wonder if the conversation is going to go good today. Or I wonder if we're going to go a little deeper. If I wonder if I'm going to be able to get her outside. And it's just, it's too much mental. Like, I remember when I was in school and I would start hitting on girls outside of school, or every day I'd wake up like, man, I can't wait till I get to the bus after school and all the girls from all these different schools are going to be there and I'm going to see what I'm going to do. And it was cool at the time, but at the same time, it kind of predicates this habit of waking up every day and looking forward to something that may not work out. It may not work. And then since it's every day, it's building a habit. I mean, especially like, I know a friend used to work at a bar, so it was very difficult for us to tell him, hey man, don't go at it with the coworkers and shit like that, because it's like the energy is very social, the energy is very lively, so it's just very difficult for us to actually get him to stop doing it. And every day it's like looking forward, I hope things go well today. And it's just one of those things, man. I know this is a nagging video, but I'm nagging you, and it's just, I can't help it. I can't help it. I can't help it. Another big reason why is because at the end of the day, you're training yourself to only meet women in particular situations, like, oh, I can only meet girls if they're at work with me, or if they're at school with me, or you're basically predicating your social skills to buildings, to specific buildings that you happen to be in. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to talk to women anywhere, anytime, for any reason, casually or serious, or from casually to serious. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to really get your social skills up there. If you're relying on, another reason why is, say when you're at work, say when you're at school, you can always lean over and go, oh man, that professor's, he's kind of crazy, right? Yeah, he's over the top. Or, oh man, that assignment was just like killing me last night. That's the type of crutches that work and school relationships can build. Is because you can talk to a girl and she doesn't have to ignore you. She kind of has to be nice to you because you're her coworker. So you can kind of come in and you can complain about something, or you can make something little as the topic of conversation, and it's a crutch. Because, okay, what happens when you have to start a conversation with a woman that you don't know? You can't go, oh, that so-and-so is crazy, right? She doesn't know you. So it makes you very lenient on just the convenience of having the thing right there, having the person right there, and also having them basically be forced to have a conversation with you and keep things cordial. And that's just one of the many reasons. And also, one last thing, it feels good, man. It feels good when you can go to work or you can go to school and you know that this isn't it for me. At the end of this, I don't necessarily leave this place and go, oh man, I'm going straight back home and that's it for the day. It feels good knowing that you have different aspects of your life and that you can interconnect them or you can separate them as you please. And that's a very good blessing. And I don't think you should ever stay 100% predicated on anything when it comes to meeting women. And that includes even like online dating apps or Tinder or swiping your fucking thumb. All of those things, man. You really want to be able to just get your communication level to a point where you can talk to girls anywhere. Because why just talk to girls at work? Why just, it's just, man, stop being a pedestrian, man. I'm not saying you gotta be Mr. Seduction God and sweep girls off the feet right off the street everywhere, whatever the case is, but just don't be such a pedestrian, man. Because it's very limiting, and it narrows your scope, and it also makes things seem bigger than what they are, because then when that shit doesn't go good, every day you gotta see them. Every day you gotta be faced with that fact. And it's just nice to be able to separate and compartmentalize things as a man. That's my thoughts on women in the workplace and why you should or shouldn't follow through with that. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next episode.